everybody, I'm Liz, and today I felt like talking about a little bit of a controversial topic here on BookTube, and that deals with book to movie adaptations. A lot of the times, like with our unpopular opinions tag, we talk about movies that are better than the books. And so today I really wanted to talk about books that I watched the movie first, but I wanted to do a little bit of a positive spin on this and say that because I watched the movie, it made me want to read the book. So before I get started, please let me know in the comments down below if you have some movies that made you really want to read the book. The first movie I definitely remember watching when I was younger that made me want to read the book is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I have sadly not yet read any of the books, but I plan to read them in the future. I know every other year I marathon the entire extended version of this movie franchise, and I absolutely love it so much. And I know that J.R.R. Tolkien has a bit of a rambly type of persona, so we'll see if I end up liking it. I did read The Hobbit a little over a year ago. It was my goal to have read before the last movie came out, and I actually managed to do that, so I was really proud of myself. I mean, it took me a month, but it was still definitely worth it, and there was things about the book that I loved so much more than the movie, particularly the elfin songs. I wanted the elfin songs in the movie, and I was really bummed that it wasn't in there. The next movie that made me really want to read the book is The Help by Catherine Stockett. I watched this movie and was completely blown away by it. I absolutely adored it and I absolutely loved it so much, and I just want to read the book. I picked it up, obviously you can see my little sticker. I got it for $2 at a discount store, and I'm really bad at taking stickers off of books. It's one of my many shames that I have about me, but I really want to pick this book up and read it because I've heard it's different from the movie, and it just sounds like such a good read that I really can't wait for me to finally be able to pick this book up, because this is another book I have not yet read. The next book that I have actually read, and I wanted to read it just because of pop culture and all the movies and TV shows and everything referencing this book, made me want to read it, and that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I was completely blown away by the prose in this book, so I'm so glad I read it. I loved it. There's only a few things that kind of bummed me out about this book, particularly how Igor was complete Hollywood fabrication. There is no Igor. That bummed me about this book, but I'm still very grateful I read it, and I'm very happy I read it. One of my favorite quotes of all times is actually in this book. Another classic book that I read was because of one of my favorite childhood movies. It's very underrated, and that is The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. I read this book about a year and a half ago, and I was very disappointed in this book because it is not happy like Disney, and I guess I should have known that. I should have realized that, because Disney loves to put this happy sticker on all of their movies. But this book just killed me. It made my idea of a lot of the characters from the movie completely change, and it was so heartbreaking reading this story, but it also took me a very long time to read this story because Victor Hugo writes a lot, and he loves to describe cities, and I really don't care about how a specific building looks. But other than that, I actually was really happy that I did finally read this, and it definitely gave me a new twist and a new perspective in The Hunchback of Notre Dame's tale. The next book that I am going to show you guys, and it's more of a series, and this might give me a lot of flack, but that's alright because I have yet to read this, and that is The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Again, sticker, sorry guys, I'm awful at taking them off. Anyway, I found this bus copy of the book and I definitely jumped at the chance to pick it up so I could read them because while I was growing up, I absolutely adored and I absolutely loved the Chronicles of Narnia, the movies that came out, like The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and all that stuff. I watched all of them and I absolutely loved them. And so I really want to read this series because everybody I know loves this series and I just want to read and enjoy it and soak it up and just really enjoy all of the parallels in this story that I've heard so much about. The next two books on my list have been on my TBR the absolute longest. And that is The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. We have Interview with the Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Damned. These are the copies I own. I've owned these copies for a freaking long time, like a ridiculously long time. And every single time I start off with Interview with a Vampire, I get about 50 pages in and then I stop reading it. Anne Rice is a cursed author for me because I have such a dream and a desire to read these books, but I can't do it. And I don't know if it's because I've watched her movies at least 20 times. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't been able to read and finish a single one of her books because I love the movies so much. I just can't do it and it makes me so sad. And one day I hope to get these read. If you guys have any tips and tricks for reading these books, please let me know in the comments down below because I need to do this. They have been on my TBR for so long. It depresses me so much looking at them on my shelf, knowing that I haven't read them. The last book on my shelf that the movie made me want to read it, and that is The Martian by Andy Weir. I watched the movie in theaters. I absolutely adored it. I feel like Matt Damon is fantastic actor, and his portrayal of Watney was just so amazing, and just he made the single person narrative work so well, and the humor and the comedy and the science and everything about this book just makes me want to read it. And I've heard that they go more into depth about the sciencey stuff in the book that makes it more believable, which is great because there are some aspects of the movie that I felt was completely ridiculous and I'm all, how does that even happen? And so I really want to read this. I've heard so many great things about it and it's definitely on my TBR for this year. So there you have some books that I either want to read or already have read based on me watching the movie. Please let me know if you have any other book or movie recommendations for me because I absolutely love both types of media and I love it when they can come together. And I feel like this can be a very controversial topic in BookTube because we center around books. And I know for me it's kind of taboo because usually I end up watching the movie instead of reading the book and then I don't want to go back to the book. As you've seen, most of these books on this list I haven't read yet. And I know that's a problem and it's something I want to tackle, and I hope that you guys can help motivate me to tackle all of these things as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!